What's going on, guys? Ryan with Tough Tech here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to go ahead and make some nice, clean, professional YouTube thumbnails. So let's get right into the video. Now, just to let you guys know, I'm so finicky on my YouTube thumbnails. I'm not even joking when I say this. I literally switch thumbnails about twice a day, or sorry, not twice a day, like every other day. Like, I would go ahead and upload videos every single day throughout the summer. On like Monday, I would upload a video, and I'd be like, oh, I love this thumbnail. Like, I would do so good with it. Then I would go ahead and make it into a template, a .psd, and then I would go ahead and get my video uploaded for the next day on Tuesday. I would go ahead and do the exact same thumbnail, just open up that template, go ahead and edit it. And I'd be like, this template, this PSD, it just doesn't fit for this video. So I'd go ahead and make a brand new one. And my channel just looks so distorted when you click on the videos because there's just so many different styles of thumbnails. I just didn't like it. And I sat here for probably about 3 or 4 hours trying to figure out what I like. And I finally found one that I actually love this so much. I'm lost for words because this thumbnail template, I've been using this now for, I would say, 2 weeks. And it works for every single one of my videos. I have like my gaming videos I upload and like my commentaries, and it just works perfectly for everything. And I really like this style of thumbnail, and I feel like you guys will like it as well. So I'm going to be showing you guys today on how to edit this thumbnail template, and you guys can do so many different things with this and go ahead and edit it any way you want. So the very first thing you want to do when you open up this template is go to the background and bring down this folder right here. So now this is going to be the drop down menu. The very first thing you want to go ahead and do is delete layer 7. So this is going to be the background layer. Just go ahead and delete that. Just put it in the trash in the bottom right, or just click the delete key once it's highlighted. And then go ahead and import your background, and just make sure you guys drag it down here to the bottom, because sometimes when you drag it in, it might like come up to the top or something like that. It's going to go ahead and highlight some stuff and get rid of stuff. So just go ahead and make sure you drag it all the way down into the background folder. And then the next thing you can go ahead and decide if you want to do, I put it here if you want, is add a border. Some people like to add borders. I don't really use them that much at all, but you can use a border. I kind of have it faded right now. If you want, you can go ahead and put the opacity at 100%, and that's going to be like bright red. So if you like it like that, you can just go ahead and do whatever you want. Just go to the opacity right here on the right side. You can go ahead and mess around with it how you want. You can also go ahead and right click, blending options, go to color overlay, and there's a whole bunch of different colors you can choose from. Obviously, you can go ahead and pick whatever color you want, whatever style or whatever color works for you for that certain thumbnail. Go ahead and do that. So if you want to put a border, go ahead and add a border on. If you don't, just go ahead and delete it again, or just go ahead and uncheck mark it. Next, we have the red circles. Now, a lot of people like to use red arrows, and they like go ahead and put like a, what is it called, a satin, I believe. Oh, sorry, a stroked. Sometimes they have to put a stroke on. I really don't like to do that. I don't really like putting arrows on. I like to do the circles as, instead. I think it's a lot more professional. So if you guys don't want the circles, yet again, just go put them in the trash, or just highlight and delete, or just go ahead and uncheck mark them. If you only want one as well, just go ahead and uncheck mark one. If you want to make it a different size, you can click on whatever circle you want. So I'm going to use number 1. Just make sure it's highlighted. Then press Control T, or if you're on a Mac, go ahead and press Command T, and then click Alt, or hold down Alt and then click and just drag to however size you want. So if I wanted to put it around the gun in the bottom right underneath the logo of the game, I could go ahead and do that. If I want their eyes to focus on that, maybe I want them to focus on the turret, so I go ahead and press down on Alt and then just drag it smaller and then focus it around, and then just press Enter once you have the size you want. And they got resizes right there to whatever size you want. So that's useful as well. If you guys want as well, you can just go on Google and type in redarrow.png, and there's loads of different arrows there. You guys can pick which one, and maybe you can have them like pointing to like a certain object or something like that, or like maybe you have like we're building a turret, and then you highlight the red arrow like pointing towards the turret, which is right here. That's up to you. I just think that the red circles are a lot more professional than the arrows. I really don't like using arrows. So now we have that. Next thing we're gonna go do is one of these background layers that some people like to use. Personally, me, I never use these at all. I don't like them at all. I think they look very unprofessional and just kind of like childish, kind of like something that Tyler would like to see. So if you go ahead and click on step 7.1, this is just kind of like some background effect, and the only time you would really use this is if you have something highlighted. So as you can see, the astronaut, it covers up like the center, so it kind of just makes it pop a little bit more. And if you want as well, you can always go in here and you can like mess around with the gradients if you wanted to. You just go ahead and change the blend mode to something else. You'd have to pick a different blend mode, and then just go ahead and just choose whatever blend mode you want. There's only be certain ones that work, and then after that you'd have to go to your gradients, and then you can just go ahead and just mess around with a whole bunch of different ones and see which one works for you. If you don't want to do that, you can also go to the paint bucket tool, which is on the left side, and then you can just click on them and just change the colors as well. But I don't use this a lot. Now for this astronaut, the reason why this is here is actually because of the glow effect. So if you really wanted to, let's say, see this gun right here, if you wanted to, I'll show you what you can do. So let's say you want to highlight something within your vlog. Let's go back down to the background. We're gonna go to the top toolbar. We're gonna hold down and go to the quick selection tool, make sure it's on positive, and we're just gonna click down on our left side of our mouse and just drag across the object you want to go ahead and highlight. Now you guys can see the whole entire gun and the guy's hand is highlighted. Now what we want to go ahead and do is do refine edge, which is on the top, and we want to make sure, see that's a little jaggedy around the gun and around his hand. We just kind of want to smooth that out, so it's gonna be different for every single object you do. So you're gonna have to figure out what works for you, but I'll explain them. So the smoothing just basically smooths the edges and stuff like that. The feathering kind of fades it a little bit. So if you put it like all the way, it's gonna like totally fade away. Now you just don't want to do this too much because you don't want to get the gun like all the way, or whatever object you're using. You don't want it to fade all the way. So you just want to increase it just a little bit. So there 1.4, that's okay, but let's put it back to 0 so you guys see the difference. There's 0. And see, as you guys can see, it just fades a little bit. So I would say right about here is pretty good. And the contrast just kind of makes it a little bit darker on the edges. So if we put it up all the way, you guys can see it makes it like perfectly like that. We don't really like that. We kind of just want that also just a tad. So here's 0. And you just want to do it just a little bit, just for it to sharpen the edges and make it a little bit darker, just a little bit. So I would say right about here, that looks pretty good. The shift edge, I never touch this at all because it's very, very unuseful. If you wanted to, you could put it like 100% and kind of get like that effect of it, like highlighting the gun like that if you wanted to. I don't like to use it though. I just leave it at the default. And the output, you don't need to worry about any of those. So that's all you can really do right there. Now once you've done that, you want to go ahead and press OK. So it's going to copy all those effects on that layer that you have selected. So now everything that you've just done in the refine edge is going to be now selected all in this layer. Then you want to do Control and J, or if you're on a Mac, Command and J, and it's going to make a brand new layer. So now you guys can see we have just the gun, and we can move this around wherever we want. So if you want to, you could do like Command T or Command J. Go ahead and make this whatever size you want. If you want to put the gun on the other side, you can do that now. You can go ahead and make it bigger. So many different things you can do with that. And once you have that, let's say you have the gun selector, you have whatever object you have selected. Now this is where this astronaut comes in place. You want to right click on outline on the astronaut, right click on it. You want to press copy layer style, and then go to the layer that you want that you just went ahead and cut out. You want to highlight the layer, right click, and paste layer style. So now if we go back to the gun, as you guys can see, now it has a little bit of an effect around the gun. If you want to change the color and just do some more effects to that, right click on the layer, blending options. As you guys see, you got inner glow, we have satin, we have outer glow, and drop shadow. Now you can go ahead and add like strokes and add a whole bunch of different things. Do whatever is personalized to you, but I would just suggest just editing the effects I already have in place. So the major one you want to go ahead and do is the outer glow and the inner glow and the satin. So go ahead and you can change all the colors. As you can see, it's like the colors on the actual gun get changed. I've added a little bit of a color overlay that's faded. We have the inner glow, which is the white right here, as you guys can see on their hand. I don't know if you can see that. And if we change this, it kind of changes. You guys can see a little bit more color show than others. But the most important one is the outer glow. Now, I really don't think the yellow works that well, so let's see what would work. Maybe like a light red. The red's really not even showing that much. Maybe a white. Yeah, see, the white doesn't look too bad. It goes nice as a text. But if you want to do that, you can. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. But so now you guys know how to use the outline layer. So now since you have all the background done, we're gonna move into the text now. So I have two different text layers. I have a text left, which is slanted, and then there's the text right. So this is just the text right. All you want to go ahead and do, go to text, just click on it, and edit to whatever you want. So we'll do YouTube test. As you guys can see, it's highlighted, or sorry, not highlighted, it's nice and centered. Now you can also go ahead and just click on the move tool. You guys can move these around wherever you want. I think this section is in right now is perfect. Let's say maybe the thumbnail, like the actual background was like flopped. Maybe you want to have the text over here and the logo over here. So if it looked like something like this, which looks totally weird now, but see how it just doesn't really fit that well with the gun being covered. You would then want to just switch these over. You'd go ahead and move those over here, and then you just go ahead and move that one over there. So you can go ahead and do that as well. So yeah, we have this text here. You can also right click on it, go to blending options, and you can go ahead and change wherever you want in here. Yet again, if you are going to do anything, only thing I would change in here is the gradients. So next we have the text left, which is a slanted text. It's kind of a different outer layer right here, different effect, but you can also go ahead and do the exact same, move this around wherever you want. Just highlight the layer, you can move that wherever you want. Do the exact same thing, go to blending options. You can go ahead and edit the gradients again. You can edit the strokes, just do whatever you want, whatever you prefer. Next we have colors. This is something that I added in here as well. I'm just trying to add stuff in here so if you guys can get creative. I don't mess with these at all. The color change, you can go ahead and mess around. It's not really that much. There's a whole bunch of different things you can go ahead and do. If you were going to do anything, I would leave this on 0, and then I would just change the saturation just so it makes the colors pop a little more. So if you guys just watch, as you guys can see, the colors they're a little bit brighter. So if we put it all the way down, it's going to be black and white. If we put it all the way up, it's just distorted. But this is what the thumbnail usually looks like, is right here. Now if you move it up a little bit, just kind of watch the guy's jacket and kind of watch like the rocks. I kind of watch around in this area. You know what actually I can do? Let's implement that circle. Go ahead and make this bigger. Now watch right here. So go to the colors. We're gonna go to the saturation. Ooh, look at that. That's not too bad. Right about here is not too bad. You can also do the lightness and darkness. I would leave this on 0. Obviously, if you put it down, it's gonna be black. If you put it up, it's gonna be pure white. I would just leave this at 0. Don't really need to mess around with this. It kind of makes it look cloudy. This just kind of makes it look dark. You just don't want to do that. We'll close that. And then there's also this one as well that adds like a glowing effect on the side. This one can be useful sometimes if you want. You just got to go ahead and edit it and just do the right one. Just go ahead and mess around with those as well. Now, the last one we have is the logo. So this is the logo right here. I like to put my logo in all my games because sometimes people are just really lazy and they don't want to go ahead and read all your titles. Maybe they don't really check playlists, because I know a lot of big YouTubers, they don't really keep up to date with their playlists. Let's say they upload a lot of Call of Duty and like maybe some Ghost Recon. Most of the time they don't upload the video to their playlist. So they have like a Call of Duty playlist or a Rainbow Six Siege or whatever type of playlist. I've noticed probably about like 80% of the time they don't go ahead and put their videos in their playlist every single time. So by doing this, by putting the logo on your thumbnail, people can just go ahead and click on your videos and they can just scroll through and see all the games you uploaded. And I like to go ahead and do that. So I usually put like the Overwatch logo, the CSGO logo, the Rust logo, whatever game I play, I go ahead and put the logo there just because it'll catch people's eye. Like, oh, they play Rust? Oh, they play Overwatch as well. I didn't know they played Overwatch. So then they'll go ahead and get a sub because you play multiple games that they like, or you go ahead and upload multiple things that they like. So putting the logo here is very, very useful as well. And yet again, if you don't want to put the logo there, but I would highly recommend doing it, just go ahead and hide the layer. If you want it there, go ahead and make sure you guys just have it selected. If you want to change any of the effects on it, because some logos are going to be different, like the Rust logo, this looks perfect on, and a couple other games the logo looks perfect on, but if it just doesn't really suit this, like the effects on the layer just don't really suit the logo that you put there, yet again, right click, blending options, just maybe go ahead and change the stroke if you want. You can make it bigger, like you don't want to do that, but maybe, so what did I have it on? Actually, I don't even know what I had it on. Let's go to blending options again. Let's go to stroke. Okay, I have it on 3. You can't really see the black lines that well. I think it looks perfect like that, but if you want to make it a little bit thicker because you like it thick, you can make it just like that, nice and thick. Now the drop shadow as well, you can go ahead and change. You can make it, if you want to make the shadow pop a little more, you can do that. So you can change the opacity to 100. You can put the distance out a little bit more, make the spread a little bit wider. As you guys can see, it's kind of popping down now. And then change the size, and it's kind of going to make it fade down to the right. Do that a little bit. As you guys can see, it faded down a little bit more down, more to the bottom, to the right than to the top. But you can go ahead and change that as well, and you can do a whole bunch of things. Maybe you can want to go ahead and do a color overlay. You could do that. And then you can go to blend, and you can do overlay. As you can see, the logo just changed. There's so many things you could do. Actually, that actually looks pretty cool. I actually like that. That looks pretty sick, changing the red like that. But yeah, there's loads of things you guys can do, and that's gonna cut it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and trust me, I love this thumbnail template. I hope you guys are excited to download it, because I use this for all my videos now. I really like this thumbnail template. Hopefully you guys know how to edit it now. If you guys have absolutely any questions, you have any suggestions for videos, go ahead and tell me down in the comments. I reply to every single comment. I'm on here every couple days replying to comments, and there's a lot more videos to come. I'm gonna start uploading a lot more kind of like graphics and templates, because I've seen a lot of graphics on YouTube for like Twitch packages and stuff like that, and I don't mean to sound rude or anything like that, but a lot of them, they're very, I don't know how to word it, but they're not very unique. I don't really like them. They look very like unprofessional. I'm gonna try and give you guys some like professional graphics, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
To love each other, I don't think we're in love. That's just the drugs. Don't they make you feel numb?